Hi, ladies. Happy Thursday. Happy week 3. I can't believe we're already at week 3. Hi, Tammy. Hi, Ryan.
Let me rename myself here. I don't know why it's my husband's name. Hello.
Hello, hello. How are y'all?
Good. How are you guys doing?
I'm good. It's pouring down rain outside. Hopefully, I
Where,
won't lose any.
where are you again, Amanda? I forget.
I'm in South Carolina.
South Carolina. And Tammy, you're in where?
Pennsylvania,
Okay.
Lancaster County.
Wow. It's crazy. It's so fun to meet people all over.
Yep. Hi,
We're
Kim.
supposed to get the rain. We're supposed to get the rain tomorrow.
Nice.
Yeah, it's going down pretty hard out there right now. They're saying potential for tornadoes in the middle of the night, but it's a slight chance. It's not a big
Hey.
chance. And then tomorrow's just a lot of rain again.
Is there a hurricane? Am I missing something? Is there a hurricane? Yeah.
Yeah, it's Nicole, I think.
Yep. It's on the coastal.
Yeah, not on the coast. We're definitely in the plains. I don't pay attention because it doesn't affect us, right, Cora? We're
That's
on the
right.
blizzard ice watch right now, not hurricanes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although my family is in Florida, all of my family except me. So we actually are on hurricane watch here. So
All right. Well, I think we'll go ahead and get started. I don't know. Sarah may or may not be able to come. I don't remember if she sent an email. I don't think she did. And I know there's some polos that came in this evening, but I didn't get a chance to listen to them before dinner. So, anyway, so yeah, it's raining, and if we lose connection, that's what it is. But I don't think we will. I think it's pretty solid. It's not thundering or lightning or anything, so hopefully it's all good. So how has everybody been doing with their reading? Where's everybody in Taste for Truth? We should be on day 14-ish, but I know we can get a little bit behind when life gets busy.
I'm on 14.
I'm on 14.
Yep. I did 15 today just because I had extra time and I didn't know if I'd get to it tomorrow. So
Okay, great. Awesome. All right, so let's look at 11. So we already kind of went through that on polos, but does anybody else want to talk about how they felt when she was asking the questions if we really have to be skinny?
Mhm.
I think it made me think back to my relationship with the scale. Like, when was the first time I got on the scale? Did I see my mom get on the scale? Like, just kind of going backwards to just kind of say, like, when did this relationship kind of start, with this idea of skinny? And I don't know, it was good to just reflect on that.
Yeah. I had that with my family too. Like my grandmother, her mother, my aunt, my mom, it was always, weigh every day. And although, my mom was fine, my mom was unhealthily overweight and she ate fast food 24/7, and did not go to the doctor. She passed away from a blood clot in her lung, and she had cellulitis in her legs. I know she had diabetes, but she never went to the doctor to have any of that monitored. So, but she always was, worried about her weight, but like only for appearance purposes, not for health purposes. So I think I'm
Right.
probably the first one to really focus in on more on the health part.
Mhm.
And let
Yeah,
go
I was listening to one of the potties the other day, and Serena and Pearl said, like, you can do a lot of things to get skinny. You can do the meth diet and just take meth and like get really skinny. And that just made me, think like, oh yeah, you can get skinny. There are ways to get skinny, but it's not healthy.
Yeah, that is so true. Like I never thought about it that way. That's the way I looked at life. And my mom also, like my mom, my grandma, like they went to what they called a TOPS program. I don't know if you ever heard of that. Take off pounds sensibly.
Mhm.
but but they did that, and it was all about like just losing weight and not being healthy. And my mom is still that way. Like she wouldn't think about it for her health. It's just to be on a diet means that you want to lose weight. So
Yeah.
it's not about health. And that focus, not focusing on being skinny actually helps me to be more content when I focus on being healthy, because I know I'm doing something good for my body, not just trying to trim down, you know.
Right. Yeah. And I think we all have different ideas of what being skinny looks like too. Don't you think?
The scale makes it very measurable though. It's easy. It's very, you can measure, it's hard for me to measure if I'm healthy. It's hard. Does that make sense? I can't go get a cholesterol test and a cortisone test, and it's just easy to measure.
Yeah. But remember, you have to remember too, the scale is really not that good of a gauge for weight.
That's what I'm learning, Miss.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. So,
It's not always completely honest with me.
I'm just curious, like here, like how often do people weigh in, or what would you like it to be like? Like what's, I don't know, like what is a healthy way to weigh in, I guess? Like once a month, every 6 months, every day, every hour. I mean, I don't know. It's so varied.
it depends on the person and their mindset and their heart and everything. Because, you know, I used to weigh in every day, but I would also allow that to discourage me. You know, if it was up or down one day, it was like being obsessed about what am I going to do today to fix this. Whereas some people can weigh every day and it doesn't bother them at all. And, you know, they're just doing it to just, you know, check. But then again, some people, you know, weigh once a month and they still have that issue of, you know, so it depends on the person. But I say just for my clients, you know, like if we're doing like a 6 weeks program, I usually just will say, you know, maybe at the 3 week mark and then at the 6 week mark, or maybe just at the 6 week mark. I have clients that do 60 days with me, and we'll do one at 30 days, one at 60 days. It just depends. But, you know, I have one today that she checked and she took pictures and she said, I don't really see a difference. You know, check the email. So I look at her pictures and there's a huge difference. It's huge. And she said, and my daughter says she sees a difference. Her daughter lives with her every day. So her daughter actually sees her every day and still sees a difference. And she said, I said, how much, you know, what does the scale look like to you? And she said, oh, I'm down 11 pounds. She's been on plan, you know, a little over 30 days. That's awesome. It takes me a month to lose 2 pounds, you know? Yeah. And I'm like, you have to see this, you know, I'm showing her, you know, all the different areas where it's shaved off. And I said, to me, you look like you've lost more than 11 pounds. So that tells you right there that the scale doesn't reflect, you know, how toned you are, the sizes that you've gone down. And she was talking about her clothes and she said, I'm going to have to go shopping because I donated all my smaller clothing. And I said, so go shopping and you'll be surprised at what size you can get in, and you'll understand what I'm telling you when I say, you know, you're a lot smaller than you were. Not that you were a terrible size to begin with, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, like there's a big difference. And we don't see it sometimes with our own eyes. So, all right, let's look at day 12. Day 12 is talking about when you're not good enough. I have to be honest and say I didn't ever, I was blessed with a grandmother who poured into me and into my mindset about myself. And so I didn't ever get any of that from her where, you know, she would make fun of me or she would criticize me. So not that I couldn't relate to it, because I can see it happen to other people and I have clients that's happened to, but for me, and in answering the questions, I didn't have the same answers some people would have. Does anybody want to share anything from that? Well, I'll just say when I answered the questions, you know, when I've done the study, just in thinking about people and the psychology of people. Sometimes people criticize other people because they feel bad about themselves, and it's not really the person that they're criticizing that they, feel bad about. And then sometimes people just have a negative attitude, and you have to accept, they're the way that they are. You don't have to internalize what they say about you, though. You have to look at how God sees you. And that's why, she gave us number 2 is, all these verses in number 2 is to look at how God sees you and understand that, we don't need to know or think about what other people think. So I liked the assignment where she said, grab a cozy blanket and curl up in your favorite chair and spend 5 minutes looking in insecurity Bible verses, because we're all insecure, regardless of what causes our insecurity. Like, I didn't get that from my grandmother, but I've gotten insecurity thoughts from my own head that the enemy's put in there, or thinking someone's looking at me in a way that might be negative, but that they might not be thinking that. But we have different ideas we get in our head. So I enjoyed going through those insecurity Bible verses. I felt like it was helpful. And it also helps too, because we talked about this in Apollo, but us looking at other people and saying the same thing, that's an insecurity on our part when we criticize other people.
Yeah.
I found this interesting, and it kind of tied into 14 today, but also tied into 12, is I was never told like the negativity about my body growing up, but I was praised for when I did look good. And it's not like they were saying, oh, you used to look bad when you were fat, but and still, if my aunts or my grandma come, like the first thing they say when they see me is either, wow, you're looking so great, or like silence. And it's the silent part that is actually like the negativity, even though they've never once said like, Corey, you should lose weight, or like, wow, you look like you have a lot of baby weight left. Never. But there's silence. And so then in that silence, that's when I become insecure. I want to wear the right outfit and like wear all black, like when they show up, just to make them say that thing, But anyway, so that was an interesting takeaway, is it doesn't have to even be the actual words of you're fat or whatever. Yeah.
I liked question number, sorry, the baby's getting put back in his bed. Question number 6, like, do you think God wants you to lose weight? All of that. And I think just in the, we've been doing this 3 weeks, I feel like, I was telling my husband, I feel like, of course he wants me to not even lose the weight, just food freedom, right? Like, to not have this idol in my life. And when I do that, I already feel like I'm able to serve so much better. I don't know. It's just been weird. I've noticed it. I'm like, I feel stronger in my other areas of contribution because I'm managing this area better. So that's, to me, like, when it's hard, I've been thinking about that a lot. Like, I want to have freedom. I want to have freedom, and I don't want this idol, and I want to be able to, like, gosh, wouldn't it be great to tame it in a way, and be able to just put your energy towards somewhere else to serve the kingdom.
That's good.
And that's a question that I wondered why she asked it, why she posed it that way. Like, why did she say, do you think he wants you to lose weight? Why didn't she ask, do you think God wants you to be healthy?
Right. Yeah.
But I think that she was maybe making it a question where it was almost like a trick question. Like, maybe God wants me to be healthy. And if that means I need to lose weight, yes. But does it mean I need to lose weight because God wants me to look better? No, or to be a certain size.
I kind of
feel like, when we get healthier, we're getting all of this inside healthy. And then our body's able to let go of inflammation and swelling and water weight and things that are, weight that's unhealthy body fat type of weight. But that's the byproduct of getting healthy, not the other way around.
I took that question 6 as like, God does want us to take care of our temple. We are his temple. So kind of how I looked at it. Like, so if it means that I need to lose weight, but there's a lot of skinny people that I know that are very unhealthy. So,
Yeah.
you know, that too.
And I like 7 too. How would your life change if you were to see yourself through God's eyes rather than, the eyes of people that condemn, or even through your own condemning eyes? That's a loaded question because that brings a lot of different changes and things that would change. And I mean, that might change your whole outlook. That might change the decisions and choices that you make in life. A lot of things. All right. Day 13, when the scale doesn't cooperate. So this is one I think that every Trim Healthy Mama struggles with because anybody on a weight loss journey, but especially Trim Healthy Mama, because, some weight loss diets, you lose and you lose and you lose and you lose and lose and lose, and then you stop. Whereas Trim Healthy Mama is, lose and maybe go up a little bit or stop losing for a little bit and then lose some more. It's like it's a up and down thing because your body has to lose and then it's got to stop and heal for a little bit for certain things. And then it might need to go up a little bit for hormone reasons or whatever, and then it's going to go down again. It's a good chapter because, she's explained to us that we don't need to have unrealistic expectations. We need to stop looking at the way the world gauges how we lose weight and look at how, focusing on health, like we talked about earlier. Trying to see, like she said, like the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the 6th paragraph down. If I cling to unrealistic expectations, one of 2 things will happen. Either I'll get frustrated with my slow progress and quit, or I'll keep following my boundaries, but with the additional weight of a bad attitude. And that makes you want to cheat or eat comfort food or quit or all of the above. So that's where searching God and your own heart for when you should weigh, when you should take, note of your progress. You just have to know when's the best time for you to do that. That's not going to discourage you if it's up, or have a plan for, okay, if it's up, I'm already making my mindset so that I'm not going to let that discourage me and I'm going to go renew my mind or, whatever. Because it is true. We do just go, oh, I've already messed up, so I'll just go ahead and, go eat whatever, or this isn't working for me, so I'll just quit and do something else more drastic.
Do you ladies feel like when you feel hungry and you're I guess sacrificing so much and then the scale doesn't show, that's a harder time? I don't know, like when I'm on Trim Healthy Mama and like Ryan, you were saying, I can't believe I'm eating all this stuff. Can I actually lose weight? You don't feel hungry. So when you feel that way, then I kind of feel like, okay, the scale probably will be up. And then you're surprised. And when you're you feel like you're starving, maybe you're not even doing the plan right. Maybe you're not even eating enough food. Then I feel like it's more of a double whammy for me then, but yeah, I guess that's one of the coaching, like I'm glad that I'm in this because sometimes I don't realize I'm not eating enough or, just to actually get my body moving again, my metabolism or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, it can be discouraging if you're depriving yourself and then you don't see the scale move. But then that just is where logic needs to come in and say, you know what, if I'm starving myself, my body is going to hold on to everything. And that's hard sometimes for people to understand. But that's the whole culture thing kicking in, saying that we need to starve ourselves or whatever to lose weight.
I mean, I think you said on Marco, like instead of just showing up to all these holiday events thinking, I just won't eat it, like to bring something. And I was like, that is so good because I was just gonna show up and not eat too. I was like, it's just one day, it's just Thanksgiving, it's just Christmas. Like I'll just show up and I just won't eat the stuff. But it's like it's not realistic, or
Yeah.
because then like I love that encouragement to like, no, I'm gonna bring something that I can eat that's on plan, that's a sweet treat or something like that. So you're not feeling that deprivation.
Yeah. And a lot of times people they're a little bit self-conscious about bringing something. They're like, that's going to be weird, but I always tell people, don't lie, but use the excuse. I'm on a health journey and I brought something, a healthier version for me so that, I can keep moving forward. I mean, I have food allergies, so I have a little bit more of an excuse than some people. But I mean, I've done that before when I was going through some health struggles before I got the food allergy diagnosis, but my doctor said, please eliminate gluten and a few other things. We had a beach retreat for church, and I took a cooler and I filled it up every night at the hotel with ice. And they went to restaurants for everything but breakfast because the continental breakfast, at the hotel. But I just took my cooler in. And as long as people were paying at the table, someone was paying, the restaurants didn't care that I had my own food. And I told them, I have food restrictions. You probably don't have anything that I can have. So I brought my own. I hope you don't mind. They're like, oh, no, it's fine. But if there's something that we can get you, please let us know. I mean, they were all very gracious. So don't feel like, I mean, I know family members sometimes can be a little bit more critical about stuff like that, but just, go with your mindset, pray over where you're going and the people and their attitude and stuff, and just go and enjoy it. And, don't let the enemy tell you that you're going to look weird or it's going to be awkward or whatever, because it's not. And even if it is, you know what you're doing and God knows what you're doing. Now, Tammy, your situation is a little bit different. So I would say, like I mentioned the polo, I don't know if you watched it, but I was saying, go ahead, eat what your family has because you don't get to see them often and you don't know how they're going to take it if you don't.
And I think like one thing I'm scared about is that, again, that mindset that I will go back and like cheat then the next, because Thanksgiving, I'm leaving for North Carolina that on Thanksgiving Day to go with my husband's family. So I need to purposefully take all the food that I need with me. And I think that's what I'm scared. I think I'm scared of myself. I'm literally myself. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, well, then that's when you pray and just let God tell you, yeah, you need to take stuff and I'll take care of their attitude or, the way that they take it or whatever it is, he'll guide you to what you need to do. Hopefully he won't wait till the last minute because you got to pack stuff and cook and all that. But,
And like too, what if you could see it as like, because I was thinking about this and like, what if people think you're an inspiration? Because sometimes I think that too. When I see people bringing their own food places, I'm like, dang, that is commitment. They are, sticking to what they know. They're saying no to all this other food. I wish I could be like that. Like, that's what I think a lot of times when I see people. So I never think the negative. So yeah, maybe just like, what if you inspire someone else to like have a different health journey because they see you working so hard and staying committed to your health journey, bringing food, from home. And yeah.
That's
right.
Yeah.
And
I
I
think-
also noticed that like on holidays, it's kind of a little different because I can bring a bigger amount and I've like brought food into my family and not said anything really like, oh, today I'm bringing Brussels sprouts and this salad and this really good dessert. And then they'll be like, wow, that's delicious. And you're like, oh, well, that's actually really healthy for you or whatever. That thing where if you're going to a beach retreat or you're going to a church event, you kind of have to just pack your own stuff. But like when you're going to a holiday, you can plan ahead a bit and take like a small pan of brownies or whatever. And then, I don't know, it can maybe get people excited about their own health journey. I don't know.
Yeah.
You may have a relative that's a trim healthy mama.
That's right.
That'd
And then
be
you're
crazy if you got
secretly
there
your
and they
healthy
said,
mamas. Yeah.
oh, me too.
Yes.
Yeah, and you'll be surprised. Sometimes, I mean, I'll take things places and someone will say, oh my goodness, I'm so glad you brought that because I'm diabetic and I never have anything to eat, I mean, things like that happen all the time. So it's like, or I have allergies and I never have anything, because I always mark stuff.
Yeah.
I mark it, and I say, this is what this is. So if you don't want to try it, don't try it. And don't put a spoon from a different dish into it. I try to bring my own spoon, and I try to explain nicely to people that you can't do that with people with food allergies. But I also save some for myself and my kids in a different, like I make a smaller or something and then take a big pan for the table, because if it all gets gone by the time we get around the buffet table, then my kids have nothing to eat.
Oh, yeah.
So I've learned that you keep some for yourself, and then, you put some on the table. So, or if it gets contaminated at the table, and then they can't eat it. So, let's see, day 14. Since everybody's gotten to 14, we can go through that one. So, what did everybody think about 14? Renovation of the mind. Like you're renovating your house, you got to renovate your mind. I highlighted a few things. I highlighted paragraph 4, where she talks about taking off the old self and putting on the new self. You got to take off the lies and put on the truth, and take off the culture and put on the Bible. And then underneath that, one of the lies you may have learned growing up is that food will make you feel better. That's totally a lie I learned when I was growing up.
I had that underlined too.
I know my grandmother loved me more than anything, and she didn't realize what she was doing, but like I wasn't allowed to not finish my food on my plate. It had to be emptied. So if I was full, I mean, I got to the point where I didn't recognize I was full, because it was always, you clean your plate.
Yeah.
And also, you're sick, here, have this. You don't feel good, you had a bad day, go get some ice cream. And that's what she did. She lived a very stressful life, and she would eat frozen yogurt every night, a big, huge bowl right before bed. And I watched her, and she was de-stressing. It wasn't alcohol, it wasn't drugs, it wasn't cigarettes, it was frozen yogurt.
I think I put in like, just, it made me think about growing up. My mom's, well, the main thing that we did was watch TV. And so every time I watch a movie, I have to have a snack. Like I have to have coffee and I have to have a snack. So I'm trying to think of better snacks when movie time is. But yeah, like that, I have that, what did I say? That was like more of a social, no, not a social, is a boredom eating. Like I was, I don't know, like.
Probably both. I mean, if you weren't watching TV, you might not want a snack, but because that's just what we do when we watch TV, I think that's kind of a social thing.
Yeah. Yeah. And if I watch too much TV, that's too many snacks. So.
You have to get something that takes a long time to chew. So watching a 2-hour movie, and eat it really slow. Or just do, multiple fuel pulls, like veggies and,
Yeah,
berries, and then maybe some popcorn or something, and, like some collagen tea or a couple slices of turkey, really small things that are very low in calories and fat, and that take a while to chew.
Yeah, I don't go for that. I usually go for the cookies and
Yeah. Oh yeah.
even like trim healthy, like I'll go for some trimtastic cake or.
Yeah. I think I'm in like pre-Thanksgiving mode, where I feel like it's colder outside, so I want some really hot desserts. And most hot desserts are something gooey chocolate and really heavy. heavy S. But if that's what you want, make it. I made date night chocolate chip cookies last week, but then I started making them too much. I said, wait a minute, why are you making this? I had to stop myself and rein it in a little and say, where's your heart?
Mm.
So it can be just, I want to enjoy this. And then it can be, I need a habit of this every night. I don't need to make a habit of it every night. Let's see. She had really good questions. Like letter D on number 6, that's a hard one. In what ways are the lies that you're believing creating a lust for being skinny? Like, that's a deep question. And it kind of steps on our toes because we don't want to think we're lusting, but we are. I like her questions. I like the way that she poses the questions because it's like God is asking us the questions through her.
Yeah. Today, my I don't know, as I was going through this, it went to a lot of me wanting to be accepted by others. Like, I don't know why, that's the way my mind went in this study today. And there was it was weird because I totally forgot all about this. But when I was in 6th or 7th grade, like middle school, there was a group of girls that were the popular girls. And we ended up becoming really nice friends. But I learned in 8th grade their original thought of me. And it was me coming to the lunch table. And the one girl said, she is fat. Like, I mean, she said it to them. I didn't hear it. But then they found out that I had a nice personality. Like, they really enjoyed being around me. And the one girl was my best friend. And it broke my heart once I, realized what they initially thought about me, but they're like, oh, I mean, I was literally like crying to them. And they're like, but we don't feel that way now about you. That's just like what Carly said first, and I never thought about that, but like, I do, when I get scared to meet new people because like they might not say it to me, but that's what they're thinking about me, and that, I don't know why, but that the Lord brought that to my mind. I think for letter E, like I need to not worry if people don't like the way I look, because God looks at my heart. And I need to focus on that, because if I focus on the outward, my heart's going to get really ugly. And so I need to look at myself as God looks at us. So, and focus on that.
Right.
It's beautiful how he can bring up those like things you don't even know are bugging you, like they're just kind of like deep down back there. I had a similar one, but just no kids were friends with me when I went to school. And now I know it's because they were all friends ahead of time. We had a very small town. They all knew each other in my class, but at the time I made up in my head as like a first grader that it must be because I'm fat. Like that like, how like your little kid brain is like searching for a reason, like do I play nice? Like, what's my deal? And is it because my family's poor? And so I decided it was because I was poor and fat. And that's still too, like, Tammy, I'll still like meet a new friend and think, will they still be my friend even if I'm fat? Like, and I'm like 40,
Yeah.
that, yeah, it's interesting. I like how her questions make you dive deep. Like it's not surfacey. It's like, all right, let's go back to your childhood. I'm like, my childhood, but it's really good.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's because the enemy does that. I mean, he doesn't just he wants to take you to your most vulnerable place in life, and dredge all that up and make you hold on to that deep-seated thing, because he knows when things are deeply rooted, it's hard to break from them.
One of the things that I was thinking of too, with like the schools and stuff, thinking back, one of the things, it's been like over a year, this transformation that God's brought up, but I went to a private school and we had to wear uniforms. And so I feel like since like a young girl going through puberty and all that, I was forced to be dressing like a boy. Like we had to wear straight khakis and a button-up shirt, white collared shirt, which is like the worst for girls. And so I don't know, it's been really fascinating though, just to see that and to pinpoint it and to really know that's kind of when I started to not feel like skinny or like had all these self-image things is when I had to put on this stupid uniform every day and I was so self-conscious of it. And so anyway, over this journey of thinking about it, I've like completely changed my wardrobe. And most days I wear dresses now because I feel like it's just more freeing. I don't know. It's been a really cool transformation to think. Like right now I'm in my lounge clothes, but so yeah, it's interesting too losing weight because Cora was asking me another time, like, how will you know, like, how do you typically know if you've lost weight? And I'm like, usually my pants fit better, but now I'm in dresses all the time and I don't know. And so it's like freeing though a little bit, but yeah, it's interesting to relate that all the way back to like sixth and seventh grade when I had to start dressing and wearing these tight pants, tight button down shirt, and like a girl changing her body. It was just like everyone could see everything, and then you could see who really was skinny or who wasn't skinny or who was having curves. And I don't know. I want to change it so bad. I want to go to like all the schools and be like, let women, like, let the girls dress in things that are flattering, especially now. My husband works on a college campus and the styles for college girls. I mean, it's just like, I see a lot of bigger girls that are not wearing stuff that's like flattering at all. And I just think, gosh, there's got to be a better way. Like so much of how we see ourselves with our image is like our clothes and the style, And so maybe it's just the style sometimes that's giving us a bad image of our body and not really our body.
Right. Yeah.
That's interesting.
Ryan, how old were you again?
I was like sixth and seventh grade when we had to start, when we went from like jumpers, like the dresses, to like, then you went to like junior high and you had to just wear, we didn't really even have skirts as an option. It was just like khaki or navy blue pants and then white button up Oxford shirts. So that was all through high school and I hated it. We got to wear a sweater. I remember like wearing a sweater every day, even when it was 90 degrees and sweating because I just was so self-conscious about my hips and wanting the sweater because the shirt had to be tucked into with a belt. I mean, that's terrible. That's terrible. It's awful.
I have a 12-year-old daughter. This is speaking more to me as a parent than it is to me personally because I've not struggled with that. But my 12-year-old is beginning to ask me every day, "Do I look fat? How does this look? Can you see my belly?" She's just asking those questions a lot. And I think you had mentioned, Miss Amanda, the curriculum. I thought maybe I need to do the curriculum with her because she knows I'm doing this program correctly and she knows I'm doing this. So maybe I need to do that with her to help her choose help. But yeah, I appreciate that, Ryan.
And just help her find clothes that make her feel great, like we
we
all have those clothes that you put on and you just feel so great in, but those are not a lot of the clothes in our closet. A lot of times we just buy whatever's on the shelf at whatever store, whatever's like the trend. And
I think it would be really important to go over scripture with her. A lot of these verses where God is telling us how much he loves us and how he looks at the heart, and pour some verses into her that are gonna affirm, God's love for her so that she can renew her mind and not, when you go shopping or whatever, not think about so much about what size her body is, I mean, I know we all think about, do I look okay in this, but I want her to think, I would want her to think less about her size and more about, do I look lovely? Am I putting on my best foot forward type of thing and not her belly or whatever she doesn't like about herself.
Yeah.
Especially because the curriculum is really good and it's all about health and it's very not focused on weight loss at all. for the kids.
Okay.
It really is about health and cooking and just making good choices and understanding why we don't eat bad things, what they do to your body. But still, as a culture, when we do something healthy, automatically we think about dieting and losing weight like that. I don't, it's just the way it is. So I could see her inputting that in there, even though it's not there.
Yeah.
It is
And her brother is
teaching,
her brother is very much like you described your son, Amanda. He cannot gain weight. He's been underweight for, they've talked about growth hormones and I feed him whatever he'll eat. But yeah, I appreciate that, girls. That's very beneficial. Y'all are talking to my mommy self tonight. I appreciate that.
Yeah. So did anybody have questions about the chapters in Trim Healthy Mama? We're on session 3, so we had to read chapters 14 through 18. Really, those are shorter chapters than what we've been reading.
Mhm.
Like chapter 14 was about, family friendly, getting your family on board type of thing. And then eating out was 15. Choosing when to cheat or how to cheat or whether you should cheat on chapter 16. And then superfoods and special food stars for the other 2 chapters.
I have a
love-
question. Oh, go ahead, Tammy.
No, you go ahead, Ryan.
No, go ahead. I just had a question about collagen. I have like pill form of collagen that I got at like Costco, and I'm almost done taking that. But I just was taking it whenever during the day. But now it seems like you should have your collagen with a meal. I have a powder collagen ready to go when I just tell me about collagen. I don't really know.
Well, there's different types of collagen. And so I would probably need to know what's in, like what your pills are. Are they like for hair and nails? And
I don't even know. I'd have to go get it and see. Okay, so that's good to know. Just
I don't think it, from what I know, I don't think that you have to change, to eat it at a certain time. Because collagen, is just, you can put it in your tea.
okay.
Use
You can put it in your
collagen
tea. It
with
doesn't really
tea.
have a taste to it when I have the powder kind.
Yeah, no. And it's just basically a protein
Okay.
source. So, and it has health benefits, but that's basically where it's going to serve you, like, with whatever. So like if you wanted to have popcorn one night, this is what I tell people when they don't want to really have like a meat or a heavy protein, like so-and-so wants to have grapes before bed, but you should put a protein with that because you don't want the grapes to spike your blood sugar and, all that. So it's easy to put like collagen in some tea and just have that with your grapes or your popcorners or whatever, you're having at night.
That's great to know. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And you can replace, protein powder. If you don't have any, you can use collagen, or vice versa, pretty much with anything.
Can you get too much protein? Like, can you have too much collagen?
Well, they say that after like maybe like 2 servings a day is probably, you can have as much as you want. It's not going to hurt you, but you're not going to get the health benefits after so much your body like maxes out of what it will do. So I think usually they say about 2 servings a day is really, because you're just wasting it if you do more.
So Amanda, like the trimmies, why, like the coffee trimmies, why do those call for collagen and your whey protein?
Because collagen doesn't froth. When you put collagen in something, it's kind of like gelatin. It doesn't thicken as much as gelatin, but it just dissolves in there and you don't know it's in there. Like if you put it in your tea, it's just like putting sugar in there or salt. You stir it, it dissolves and you don't see it. But if you use the protein powder and you're frothing it with your frother or mixing it with your blender or whatever, it gives you that froth on the top. And it's got a.
So could you do it? Could you do a trimmy with just collagen?
You could.
Or do you need the whey?
You don't have to have the whey.
Okay.
Yeah, it just won't be frothy.
Gotcha. Or you could do it then with just the whey.
Yeah, no, you'll just, like if too, like if you're doing a trimming and it calls for both, you just know that like if you're expecting it to be, you know, a lot of protein in there, it's not going to be if you're using one source or the other, not both. But they don't have like a full meal worth of protein in them anyway. So
Okay. Okay. And I would love if you have time to answer Ryan's question that I caught up on polos today. Ryan, you asked a question about how much is a scoop? I've not had a scoop in my bags either. When it says a scoop, how much
Yeah, I
is
don't-
that?
So you have to look at the back of the bag because a scoop for each thing is different because the serving size is different for each thing. So protein powder, they did used to come with scoops. And then they, to save money and I guess plastic, they stopped putting the scoops in there, but they still had bags that say scoop or whatever. Or a scoop comes inside, but they don't. But like, for instance, whey protein powder, the big scoop that comes in there is a whole fourth of a cup. It's 4 tablespoons in there.
Wow.
Because even on the back of that, I looked tonight, it said just 1 scoop is the serving size. And I'm like, I don't know what a scoop is.
Oh, so it didn't tell you?
Yeah,
It didn't
It didn't
say?
tell me, no.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so a 1 scoop is like 4
Fourth
tablespoons,
of a cup.
a fourth of a cup. And then a scoop of collagen is a tablespoon and a half.
Okay. Put that down.
Now the creamy dreamy, I think says 3 tablespoons because they were past putting scoops in when they made the creamy dreamy. So 3 tablespoons is a serving of creamy dreamy. What else has scoops? I can't remember. Is that it? Might be, well, I think the greens powder goes by tablespoons or teaspoons too, doesn't it? Teaspoons. But I don't have in the top of my head how much of that's a serving. So we'd have to look at the bag.
And is there a difference between the whey protein and just protein powder?
Whey protein powder? You mean like any whey protein powder
Yeah,
or?
what was my question? I feel like there was recipes and it was like,
The pristine, sometimes
Yeah.
it calls for a pristine.
Yeah, it's the same thing. Yeah, whey protein is it's got whey in it. So
okay. Yeah, because some recipes say just pristine protein powder and others say whey pristine protein powder. And I'm like, is there a difference? Okay.
yeah, well, and two, remember they didn't used to have their own brand of stuff. So they used to
Okay, so
recommend
that's why I
other
said the
brands,
recipes.
and another brand started changing, and it was constantly like, okay, we can't have this brand now. We got to find a new brand, and they're like, you know what, we're just gonna make our own.
And didn't you ask Ryan about like having a fuel pull between
Oh, yeah.
meals? Like, I would think that,
Yeah, you're talking about like when you're hungry between meals and it's not time to eat yet.
Well, just like some of the drinks, I was just like drinking them, like the Boost juice. I was just drinking it whenever in between meals. And then today I saw that it said a fuel pull by it. And I was like, oh no, am I not supposed to drink it between meals? I'm supposed to just drink it with something?
No, a fuel pull you can have anytime.
Oh, okay, good.
It's just telling you that you don't have to worry about it crossing over with another fuel. That's why they're telling you it's a fuel pull.
Okay. So I can have it in between meals whenever. Okay, great.
Yeah.
I was like so worried today. I was like, oh no, I've been drinking it. I love the Boost juice, you guys. I just keep drinking it. I don't know. It's funny because I know my adrenals are like bad after having a baby and everything, but that baboa powder, how do you, I don't know how you say it,
Yeah.
but I'm just like craving it. Like I woke up this morning again. I was like, I just can't wait to have it. I'm craving it. And I wonder if it's my body just like wanting that. I don't know.
Could be. It could be.
It's delicious though.
that's what I was going to say about the chapters, the superfood chapters and the specialty foods. Like, I enjoy just reading about that stuff. And then I get all excited to try a recipe. I'm like, oh, that's what it's doing to my body.
Right.
So yeah, it's amazing. Like, it's just sad because like, my book's sitting around all year. It was sitting in, on a shelf. And I just knew if I would just read it, I would get excited about it again. It's just laziness.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we all do it because we're, and we've been on plan for so long. It's like, I know the plan. Why do I need to read the book again? But it does refresh you. It's kind of like reading the Bible over and over. You learn things you didn't know. And like I said before, in probably the first session, I didn't need to read the hormone stuff as much when I started as I do now because it's a different season of life. But I should have done it because then I would have been more prepared ahead of time. then rather than waiting till I needed to read it.
Mhm.
It's a little late then, but did I tell you all that I think I did tell you all, my sister-in-law gave me her book.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. So I have the new book, the old book, but I didn't have the plan part printed. I only had the recipes and part of the plan part printed. And then it got, messed up or whatever and torn and whatever. But I was only using it for recipes and rarely, because even the new books have some of those recipes in there. So then when she gave me her book, I was like, this is like Christmas. Like, it's like going back, the nostalgia of starting and, getting like a boost of motivation, I guess, and then I'm going back through the recipes and remembering things that I really enjoyed that I've forgotten all about.
Well-
And then going back through some of the plan stuff, because it's more in depth than the other books because they condensed it, right? With every cookbook, they've gone smaller and smaller with the plan information. So going back to it and going, oh yeah, things about the basics that I just need to remember. So it's been kind of neat.
What was that one called?
It's just called Trim Healthy Mama.
Okay.
Yep. I think
It
it's only an ebook. Yeah, it's huge.
Okay.
I think one of my favorite things about Trim Healthy Mama is like the excitement around all the information. Like the potties are like what keep me going, because like all of a sudden we're talking about goji berries and I'm like, your vision changes. Like I can eat some goji berries, my vision changes. Like, so I'm like, kids, eat goji berries. But like we could maybe not need glasses, like if you eat your goji berries, but you wouldn't know that, right? Like you just see them on the shelves and you like maybe pick them up or you don't, but then you're all of a sudden eating all these foods and thinking, and imagine like just the thoughts of like being excited about a food, like how much that helps your digestion and like our body and mind work together. So
Yeah.
being excited and knowing, oh, this carrot has so much of this and this and this, and yeah, it's just my favorite part.
I saw your purple carrot.
My purple carrot, I love purple carrots. Do you not like them?
No,
No.
I've never tried it. I tried one after
It
seeing. I
tastes,
thought,
it
ooh,
tastes almost the same as our orange
looks-
carrot.
it
Yeah,
looks
and then-
dirty.
And the middles are orange. The middles are orange, so like they're purple on the
I'm
outside.
gonna try it. I'm gonna try it.
And purple
I'm
sweet
motivated.
potatoes too. I don't know. I like purple.
I'm gonna try that purple carrot.
Yeah, I have to go back to ordering from Misfits because I hadn't for a while, and one of our local stores had organic rainbow carrots, and they don't now, and that's one of the things I really miss. So I will have to go back and start ordering again. The order and when they ship it is off from my grocery stuff, so it gets confusing. And then my husband thinks he's just not one of those that, like, I think I explained this before, but like bulk, yeah, not going to happen with him because he doesn't like the huge lump of money coming out at one time, even though he doesn't realize we're spending like 3 times as much by buying things, every week in the smaller amounts. It's just his mindset and I don't know. I mean, I know logically he knows, but it just freaks him out when he sees it out of the checkbook. So, okay, well, did anybody have any other questions before we pray?
I'm just excited. What does everyone use for peanut butter?
I use Kirkland Costco peanut butter, just the not Jif, just Kirkland brand.
Okay, but it doesn't have sugar in it. It's on plan. It's good. Okay.
It's just salt. It's just a little bit of salt and peanuts. That's all it says.
I have a local country store. My daughter actually works there, and they grind their peanut. They make the peanut butter there. So that's what I use. And then I make that from the THC cookbook. What is it?
Peanut junkie butter.
Peanut junkie. Yeah.
Junkie. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, Great Value has, like Walmart, they have an organic without sugar. And that's what I get my son. I don't do a whole lot of peanut butter.
My kids were making peanut butter cookies tonight, and I have not been tempted since with much lately. And then I saw the Jif open and I smelled it and I was like, I want to eat this whole jar right now. So
I'll tell you a peanut butter recipe that's good. You'll have to look it up though. It's Coach Canada. She spells her name with a K, Kanada. She has, I think it's called Real Deal Peanut Butter. So if you search it in Google, it'll probably come up the first thing, but her recipe is really, really good. It's almost just like peanut butter.
got it. Okay, great.
And it's a
Try that one.
fuelful.
And it's a fuel pull. Mhm.
Ooh. So I can put it in drinks, mix it in so like a smoothie or something.
Yep. All right. Well, does anybody have any prayer requests?
Yeah, pray for my family. My gathering. Yeah. I guess that's the 19th. Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's pray, ladies. Heavenly Father, we just love you, and we thank you so much that you've given us this group, Lord, that you've bound us together through our relationship with you and through your healthy mama. Please help us with our journey, continue to walk with us through it, and to reveal things to us that we need to know about our spirits, but also about our health, and show us how we can serve and love you better and others better as we get healthier and our bodies are able to do more in that. And I just pray for all of our families, all the family gatherings that are coming. Just help us to navigate all of that and to know what decisions to make. Just help us to have our eyes and ears open, especially spiritually, to what you would have us to do in every situation. And just keep our families physically safe, spiritually safe, just put a good hedge of protection around them. And we just thank you so much, Lord, and we love you and we praise you for all that you do. In Jesus' name. All right, ladies. Oh, my daughter's dog just pushed the door open and came in. All right, well, you guys have a wonderful night, and
Thanks.
I will probably see you tomorrow on Polos.
Okay.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye, thank you.
All right.